Welcome to episode 4 of Vlogging with Joel. In last episode, my goal was to finish episodes 1, 2, and then start with my 6 to 12 episode. Unfortunately, I ran out of time. There's part of me that thinks I'm chewing off more than I can handle by doing this channel and trying to still do 6 to 12. However, the other part of me is like, no, this is good training. I'm forcing myself to do this, not daily, but pretty close to daily. I'm learning all these techniques, and I don't mind experimenting it as much and not having it as perfect on this channel as I do on 6 to 12. So I think this is really beneficial for me, not just for you guys to see how I do it, but kind of for me to train myself. In the last episode, I experimented recording myself on my cell phone and then trying to add that to my screen recording, so a different file, and have them match. Now, I've never done it before, but from watching YouTube videos, I did know that a clap can help determine where you're going to start so that it matches up and it lines up correctly. What I ended up figuring out and learning is that if you do this 20 or 30 times throughout the day, it gets really complicated to figure out what video matches which audio. So I need to be more organized, and to do that, I think that it would be good, kind of like in the movies, like in Hollywood where they have the little and it says what scene or what take it is. I think I need to start adding that. So scene and take. And if I say that at the beginning of each video, it'll be a lot easier to find. I also have to be careful to start and stop recording at the same time. What I found myself doing a lot was I would start the screen recording and then I would say something wrong or mess up, and I would stop the voice recording and then start the voice recording again. So I'm left with more voice notes or voice recordings than video, and now I've got to match up. I've got to listen to a 3 or 5 minute video and then try to piece those voice notes together. Also, when I transfer them from the phone into the computer, they're out of order, so they're not chronological. I don't know how to fix that. If I figure it out, I'll let you guys know. But with so much that I have to do for episode 3 of Vlogging with Joel, I don't think I'm going to get to any videos of 6 to 12 yet, which is okay because I'm just training myself so that it can be faster in the future. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, that is my main channel. That's why I'm doing this. So go to 6 to 12, check it out, and subscribe. Anyways, at the end of this episode, I'm going to show you guys what I learned, the tricks and tips that I need to create episode 3 of Vlogging with Joel. And hopefully I can keep it more organized for myself so that it's easier to edit tomorrow when I record episode 5 but edit episode 4. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy the edit. And I'm done with the edit. It took a lot longer than expected. We're actually in the middle of the whole COVID-19 situation, and with that, I actually went into, I guess, my version of depression, which is mainly just binge watching Netflix and YouTube for like 3 or 4 days. When I finally got back to the project, it was such a mess. It took all day basically to finish, and I learned a lot. That's what we're going to go over right now. So some simple stuff. When I transferred all my files from my phone to my computer, they were out of order, and I figured out how to get them chronologically put into order. Okay, so if I open my files here, even though these were filmed on 2 different occasions, they actually do have numbers, so it is actually already chronological. Now if I Control A to grab all of these and I pull them into here, if they're out of order for whatever reason, if I click right down here on sort icons, I can sort them however I want. So because they're already labeled chronologically by number, I can just go label, and now these should all be in order. I'm going to show you guys how to sync your video and audio perfectly so that it's seamless. In one of the previous videos, we talked about unlinking video and audio so that you can move them separately and rearrange them. I learned that you can also link things together. So even if you have 2 separate videos and 2 different audios, you want to link them all together. When you make one cut, they all get cut in the same place. So it's really, really handy. Once you've got your audio and your video where you want it together, then you can link it together if they come from 2 different sources, so that you can make cuts and not kind of lose track of the setting place. As you can see, I've got 2 audios pulled into my timeline here. This is the video that I want, which is my screen recording, and this is the audio that I'm going to want, that is a picture of me. It's sideways, but it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to use the audio. So the first thing I want to do is I want to select this, I'm going to right click, and I'm going to unlink. Once it's unlinked, I can actually just get rid of the video, and I can take the audio and move it to where I want it. Boom. Okay, I want to click, make sure nothing's highlighted. go up here to these three little lines, and I am going to show audio time units. What that does is it allows me to actually zoom in even more. So this clap, which just looks like a normal spike, I can zoom in. Let's move the line cursor right above it, and watch how it just kind of spreads out. Look at that. So now I want to find this other clap. So I'm going to mute the bottom one so that I hear the top. And this is probably going to be the clap. Yep, there it is. So this is the clap right here. So the first thing I want to do, I'm actually going to go ahead and cut right here. Get rid of this. Goodbye. V to select. And we're going to move this in. Now, move the cursor. Wherever the cursor is, that's where it's going to zoom in when we decide to zoom this in. As you can see, the claps are not lined up, so I'm going to move the audio at the bottom. See if I can get it nice and close. Too far. Alright, see how we're getting close, but it's not close enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in. And that lets me be a lot more accurate with this. And get that top of the spike right with the other top. Now, it's probably more accurate than we need it, but here we go. Boom. So I finally finished. Alright, and you can hear both audios are synced. There's no kind of an echo behind there or anything. So now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on this one, right click, unlink. Because this audio is so horrible, it came from the computer, the laptop, I'm just going to delete it. And that actually brings us to the next point, which is linking together. Now I can do this with just two. I'm going to bring these together. I'm going to right click and I'm going to hit link. Now what happens is this is where the clap starts. This is where I start. So I'm going to go right after the clap where I start talking. I'm going to cut and boom, they both cut together. So now this is just one file. I'm going to take it one step further. I'm going to add this video. Now we got all four. Now as you can see, if I make a cut here, it will cut the top and the bottom, but not this. Now if I bring it all together, I'm going to have to unlink first. Select them all, right click, link. Now if I make a cut here, boom, they are all linked together. Isn't that beautiful? I'm also going to talk about creating proxies and how that can help your video lag less while you're editing. Proxies are basically low resolution copies of your files so that as you're editing in here, everything is buttery smooth and there's no lags. I was having some lagging issues as I was editing, so I researched how I can stop it. This is what I found. You want to go to your file, right click, go to proxy, click create proxies, and then open media encoder, which I don't have. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to pay more for it or not. As soon as I find out, I will update this channel. However, since I don't have it, I can't use it yet. I'm going to talk about how to blur certain parts of, I guess, private information in a video, and finally, transitions. If I want to blur part of the image, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the effects panel, and I'm going to type in Gaussian blur, and we're going to drag that and just drop it on the file that we want to add that effect to. We're going to make sure that that file is highlighted, go to effect controls and go to Gaussian blur, and we're going to pick the shape that we want. So for example, if I want a square, I'll get that square. I can move it to wherever I want to blur. Let's say my face, this whole video, and then I can move these points to adjust exactly where I want them. Now once I've got them where I want, I go to blurriness and we go from 0 up to however blurry you want it. And that's it. Once you press play, that section will be blurred out. All right, let's talk about transitions. So we're going to continue in the effects panel, and we're going to go to video transition, bring that menu down, and you got all these different ones to choose from. I'm really liking the dissolve, dip to black. So actually, let me show you guys what this will look like. So I have these two scenes right here, and it's kind of jumpy from one to the other scene. So what I want to do is I want to add this dip to black right in between the two. And now if I want, again, I'm going to zoom in. I can click on this effect and I can drag it out, or I can make it shorter. I like it how it comes, so I'm gonna Control Z twice. And then now look at how much smoother it is. Boom, that's transitions. And that's it for today. I'm done with the edit. It took a lot longer than expected. Can you guess how long? Not going to tell you now. I'll tell you in the next episode. A couple things that I've noticed is the more that I edit, everything that, or the little tasks that I have to repeat several times are getting easier and easier, just more natural to do. So even though these edits are taking a long time, it's because I'm adding more tools to my arsenal of editing skills. I'm really excited and hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next episode.